Hi, everyone. I'm Bryn Cole, and I'm here to talk about people, the pandemic, transformations, and potential futures. Take a minute to think about what your own hopes for the future of healthcare are. Your healthcare, your families, your colleagues, your neighbors, your communities, for the veterans in your lives. What do you want it to look like in 10 years? Do you have some thoughts? Okay, good. Hold them right there. We'll get back to that in a bit. To bring you back to the video that you just saw, the VHA is leveraging the pandemic as an inflection point, reimagining veteran healthcare, designing the future today through leaps of faith and in direct partnership with veterans, caregivers, and frontline VA employees. We are aiming to revolutionize care. This story has countless beginnings, but I can only start with one, so I will share the one that I know best. On February 27th, 2020, my gentle, sweet Angus died. He was my first dog as an adult, and assuredly my first love. He came into my life in my mid-20s and quickly grew to become my dearest friend, by my side through cross-country moves, countless breakups, and everything in between. You dog lovers know what I'm talking about. Your first dog is some extra kind of special. Sobbing, I said goodbye to him, sitting on the cold green tile of the vet's exam room as the cocktail that would relieve his suffering did its work and he was gone. Our dear friend Cal by our side, holding my hand and petting Angus's head. February 27th, 2020. Little did I know that just days later, there would be nobody by my side. The world would suddenly shut down, and I would be completely, utterly alone. The next few months were dark and worrisome and lonely, as I threw myself into my work to avoid the silence and the allure of the one thing that I thought I took comfort in. It began to dawn on me that the virus that raged across the world was not the only danger that I had to consider. What did those months of the early pandemic hold for you? Looking back on it now, in what ways, both large and small, did your life, thoughts, and self change? How has your family been impacted? Your work, the institutions that you believed unshakable, your own mental health and well-being? And what have you needed to change because of all of this? Confronting the truth that my emotional dependence on alcohol would, if left unchecked, grow to become a physical dependence was a deep reckoning for me. I had, over decades, built my relationship with alcohol into my foundational understanding of who I was as a person. Some of you may know this feeling. Considering sobriety felt like a betrayal at first, and so it stayed parked, inert, for months. That seed was able to blossom when I met my partner in June of 2020. The usual distractions were on a permanent hiatus. No travel, no bars, no restaurants. The pandemic, for all of its horrors, gave me space for clarity. I could not connect if I continued to destruct. And so began my journey to identify and implement the crucial changes that I needed to make to transform my life. The pandemic caused upheaval across every sector and for every person in both small and astronomical ways. And there was this constant undercurrent of questions. What was happening to us? What will happen to us? And then a more specific question emerged for the Veterans Health Administration. Could we view personal transformations in tandem with these system-wide sweeping changes as an opportunity? The COVID-19 pandemic had fundamentally changed the landscape for healthcare delivery and had fundamentally changed how people were experiencing their lives and their selves. Could we unearth and expose the opportunities for radical change brought about by the pandemic? I've worked with the Veterans Health Administration since 2006. My career has brought me across the country, connected me with incredible people and programs and problems. In 2016, I fell in love with human-centered design and longed to apply the methodology to the opportunity at hand. The organization saw this unique opening and decided to act before it was lost. The Reimagining Veteran Healthcare HCD project was born. This work has led us to meet veterans and employees where they are, backyards and porches in Los Angeles, Houston, and Richmond. I was gifted a weekend of stories, laughter, and tears during the 7th Annual National Gathering of American Indian Veterans, one of the most meaningful events of my career. And we've met with many others in areas across the country through virtual interviews. We have connected directly with veterans to learn about the impacts of the pandemic on their lives and to hear their ideas for change. We have spent countless hours with VA leaders and frontline employees steeped in the same space with the same questions. We have painstakingly combed demographics, enrollment projection, user experience, and mounds of other data to fully understand how the veteran population is changing. We have reviewed laws and bills to see what has changed and what may change to help us continue to wrap our arms around who the VHA is now and who we might yet become. So back to that question of what healthcare should look like in 10 years. When we asked people what they truly wanted from the VA, what did we find? What we found is a deep desire for authentic human connection, paired with tools that seamlessly enable that to occur. We found that healthcare of the future is multiplayer. It integrates caregivers, families, and communities as embedded partners in care and is agile and responsive to the ever-changing nature of life. We found that it is upstream, providing a wide menu of natural and holistic modalities available wherever and whenever people need them. And we found that it provides new care and employment pathways, which may challenge deeply entrenched orthodoxies about how and when and where people contribute to or benefit from the VA. We don't yet have the answers as to what this may look like. As this project shifts into the next phase of our work, co-designing potential solutions with veterans, caregivers, and VA employees, I can't help but think back to my own journey with sobriety over the past year and a half. Like all transformations, it is not a linear process. It is a daily dedication that, honestly, I haven't always been successful with. But it is through the trying and failing and getting back up with renewed vigor and new insight that we can continuously rise to the challenge. This work has reconnected us with the belief that healthcare should be about people taking care of people. While the pandemic has challenged much about our systems and institutions, it is our humanity that has shown stronger than ever. Our future depends on our ability to connect with each other as whole humans, to lean into our collective humanity to create thriving, healthy communities. I hope that each of you are emboldened by my own willingness to share who I am, what I struggle with, and are inspired to begin to find ways to practice this yourselves to create a more human healthcare system. And if you, like me, have been struggling with your mental health, alcohol, or substance use, you are not alone. There are countless resources out there and even more people to help guide the way. You don't need to be ashamed, and letting go is not a betrayal. It's the first step in any transformation. Thank you.